I'm going to show you how to deploy JavaScript app to read data from Fire service on Azure. To do so, in this tutorial, I'm going to go over how to deploy a Fire server into the Azure and register a public client application and test the access to the application and creating a web application that reads this Fire data. The first thing I'm going to show is how to deploy a Fire server. So to deploy a Fire server, you need to go to all resources over here and you need to click the create. If you come to all resources, then you can see there is a add tab over here. If you click the add tab, then you can search on which resource that you're going to make a new one on your resource file. So in the searching bar, you just need to type Azure API for Fire. Once you click it, then it's going to show the description of the Azure API for Fire resource. What is the overview? And if you click the create, then you're going to have the Azure API. Looks like this. So this is the example of API for Fire that I created for this tutorial. So after you create it, then you can see the metadata of the Fire. The URL of metadata is going to show over here. And the first thing you need to set for this resource is you need to set up the authority. You can see the authority. This is your tenant ID. It is for your login ID and the audience. And the next thing is you need to set up the CORS. So you need to set up the origins as the star mark and headers as the star mark, and the method is for the age should be 600. And for the database, you should put the 400 RU per second. Then you're set for setting up the API for Fire on your account on Azure. And the next thing is you need to register a public client application. So for the public client application, you need to go to all resources. And so if you go to Azure Active Directory, then you can see the Azure Active Directory is for the Georgia tag, and you can see the overview of the directory. And you need to go to under Manage tab. There's app registrations. If you go to app registrations, Then you can see what type of applications that you have registered. So for me, I have two applications. One is for the web application and one is for the public client application. So to register a public client application, you just click the register on application, and you need to put in the name that you want to put, and this is going to be account. And for the redirect to URI, you need to set up the redirect to URI for your Fire server. So if you see the already registered the public client application, so the redirect to URI should be shown at the authentication tab under the manage on the menu. So these are the redirect to URIs since we are going to test the application through Postman. So this is the URI that you're going to see on your Postman account, and you just need to put for these two redirect to URIs, then it's going to be work out on your Postman account when you test the application. So this is how you set up the public client application. Next one is going to be the testing access to the application. So once you created the public client application, then you need to test the access. This is the web application that I made. So if you run this one, okay, so next one is creating the web application on your Azure. To do that, you can go to web application, click the all resources, and you need to create a new application through the resource. You need to click add. And you can see the web app over here. If you click the web application button, then it'll show you how to create the web application on Azure. So the subscription is going to be your subscription, and resource type is going to be the resource that you created for API to Fire. So which is the demo for me, and the name is going to be your web app name, and you need to click the code, and for the operating system runtime stack is going to be NetCore 3.1, which that I used, and region is going to be your region. And after that, you just need to click the review and create. And when you do this, you're going to have web application on your resources. Then it's going to be deployed on the server right away. So if you click this, then you can test your web application. So that is connected to the Fire server. So this application is connected to your Fire server that you deployed on your Azure website. So the URL is going to be the name that I created for the web application, and the authentication. So if you go to authentication preview, then you can see what type of authentication is required for this application. Oh, and for the so if you click this URL, then it's going to show you what we put as a resource on this application. And once you signed in as your authentication with your authentication, then it's going to show you this type of the message that welcome, and with your user ID, and this is showing you the web application is deployed on your system.